Good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening, or good night. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today, we are going to be teaching you how to transform Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Soulless Prime from robot mode into vehicle mode in all of her wonderful, glorious steps. I am Blind Prime, and this is my co host. Where did he go? Where did my co-host go? Oh, he's over there. Co-host Kream the Cat. His jobs are to sleep and interrupt me. He does both of his jobs very well. Sometimes he does one job more than the other one, but overall, he does both of his jobs very well. He is a good employee, and I feed him in kibble and treats, and he absolutely loves. There it is. There, he's interrupting. Who's a good fat cat? Who's a good fat cat? Who likes your kibbles and treats? Who likes their kibbles and treats? You like your kibbles and treats. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Don't bite my nose. Don't bite my nose. All right. So, today's video will be an explanation and instruction on how to transform this really fun deluxe class figure that actually has a complicated transformation. And before we get into it too deeply, please go below, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and comment. I love hearing from you, my subscribers. And I love it when you share my videos because it means that you're helping me reach more visually impaired and blind people out there. You know, with your help and your assistance, we can reach all the blind in the world. Wouldn't that be cool? I think it'd be cool. That would be awesome if every blind person in the world knew who I was. I would just put 2 thumbs up, man. That's cool. And a final little note. This is to Evan, the engineer Hasbro. I got the package that you helped pick out. That was awesome. Thank you so much. I've got little Tilt right here to showcase something that I got in the box. I'm not going to say it out loud, but I mean, if you know who Tilt is, then you know what I got in the box. And I was not expecting that. That was akin to whenever I was hosting a Christmas party here at my place. And my friend Garrison LaForge came over, and he threw the box for Black Zarek with Black Zarek in my arms, and I almost dropped it. And he was like, "Happy Christmas. Here's something called a Black Zarek." And I went, "This is something I want. Thank you." And so thank you to Evan. I could tell that you've actually watched my channel and stuff because you picked out things I haven't talked about yet on the channel. Even things that I mentioned that I wish I could have gotten, but just didn't have the budget to get. And of course, there was Silverbolt. I want to give you a hug right now, mate. I want to give you a hug. Silverbolt? Oh, so Silverbolt was awesome. And then to get Tilt and his friend was just like the cherry on top of the whipped topping on top of the ultimate cup of coffee. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was awesome. I have enough content now to talk about for months. So, that all being said, thank you is being put in order, and you know my appreciation knows no bounds. I tell you that right now. Unexpected, but absolutely loved. I appreciate it, and next time I see you, man, I'm going to be giving you a hug. Straight up, I'll be giving you a hug because that is just one of the coolest things that anybody's ever done for me, and I absolutely love it. All right, let's get into today's video without further ado, and thank you once more to Hasbro for the wonderful package yesterday. I'll be probably thanking you over the next few weeks over that package because it's just so exciting. All right, let's get into Soulless Prime. So first off, you want to remove Soulless Prime's accessories. If you haven't already done that, do that first. Next step is you want to take her fists and you want to fold them in. But first, you got to come over here to her side area. You got to find out how to unfold her arms. The forearm actually unfolds at a point, and it can be a little difficult to find that point. Yeah. I'm on forearm point. You know what? There it goes. It's on the inside of the arm. I forgot. All right, so just so you know, you're not like me and forget, the panel, so when you move her hand and her fist goes down, there's a panel down there, and you can take your thumbnail or your fingernail and you unfold that panel from the inside of her forearm, that side of the forearm that faces your body. And then you can fold her arm into the cavity that's revealed, and her hand will go down into that cavity perfectly well. Very nice. I do like it whenever we get some nice, solid hand hiding. Next step, you want to grab her backpack and her front and two separate hands and pull her backpack away from her body. We're not doing much here. We're just pulling it away slightly. We're disconnecting it from its tabs, and this is going to allow some other pieces to kind of move around a bit more, which is what we want. Next step, push the shoulders forward on the hidden butterfly. There we go. Both shoulders get pushed forwards, and now you've got like this right angle kind of shelf on the back. So you got the back, and then you got this little shelf bit that is revealed when you do that. Next step, come over here to the side of the, and this is a hard one because they never want to move, but on the inside of these shoulder pauldrons, you'll find that there's a little tab. You got this little piece that sticks out, and that's going to attach somewhere in this transformation. But behind that is a panel, and this panel rotates, and it's a stiff rotation. But they did such a good job hiding the edges of this panel that you won't be able to find it unless you know it's there. So feel at the tip, go to that little spot that sticks out from the side of the pauldron, and then feel in here. And by the way, just so you know, we're talking about the side of the pauldron that doesn't have the wheel on it. So the opposite side from the wheel. And you want to take and find this panel, and you want to try and get your fingertip in there and rotate it. And it doesn't want to rotate very well because it's a very stiff piece. But there we go. You want to rotate it 180 degrees. You just want to rotate it out and make sure it falls flat. We're revealing a big old hole right there, and that is going to be important in the transformation steps. Next step for this arm is we've got to get all of this arm pieces to come together. And when it comes together quite well. But here is a point of the transformation that worries the crap out of me. So first off, make sure that you rotate the arm so the flappy doodle that we have. So if you put her breasts towards the ground and her back is facing towards the ceiling, you want the flap that we unfolded from the forearm to be facing towards the ceiling, and the part that has the siege port to be facing towards the ground. And that way, this will come into play a little further into the transformation, but make sure you already have that set up. It's going to make your job a lot easier. Now we're going to come over here to this piece over here. And so what we're doing here is we've got to fold up her forearm, not her forearm, her shoulder pauldron. And this is a difficult fold to do because it is kind of it's a fragile joint spot. So just be aware of that fragile joint, but you can get this guy to fold up quite nicely if it's done right. It's just that this is an origami step, and in origami, if you fold the wrong fold too early, nothing will work. So you'll have to unfold and refold this guy a few times if you must. I'll let you know this may take you a couple of tries. Don't rush it. Don't put too much force into it, or else the shoulder pauldron will snap out of its moorings. Then you'll have to put it back in place, and I'm going to explain that to you when it snaps out. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. This guy is he's just doing a lot. He's doing a lot. And getting that, there it goes. Okay, so now that should fold down. And what I've been doing is I've just been like folding it slowly, making sure that every little fold works. It's not the easiest part of the transformation, that's for sure. Making sure that those 3 folds happen correctly and in the correct order, because there's like 3 points that fold. And if they don't, you get a shoulder pauldron that doesn't want to snap into place, because this thing will. It will snap into place when it's ready. But let's just worry about it later. Let's move over here to this side. And good grief, why am I sweating so much? Turned on my fan for my studio. Maybe that will help, because wow, it didn't rain. It almost rained, and all it did was bring out all the humidity. So suddenly, Florida just became a humid wasteland. It didn't even rain. All right, well, let's go over the other arm. and work on that one real quick. So you want to make sure the flap is pointed up and the siege port is at the lower end. Now, there's a special piece in this. If you feel right above the bicep area for the arm, there's this little nub that sticks out, and it's got a little roughness to it. That is something that will that this shoulder pauldron is going to rest upon. So let's go ahead and take care of this one, the other shoulder pauldron. Pull that piece out, that little piece we told you to rotate around to make sure that the spot is visible. And we're going to rotate that back together. And now we're going to do the fun job of folding this up. This is not a transformation that I consider to be a very pick it up and transform it kind of transformation. This is a, ugh, I want her in this other form transformation. It's a good transformation. It's just a little tedious. A little tedious. So let's get that. Come on. Come on. And it's getting this to line up properly. It's always going to be your slight pain because those joints just do not want to do it. They kind of stacked a few too many joints in one place. But once you get it to line up properly, it's going to be amazing. That's the nice thing about this figure. Like once you get things to line up, oh, she comes together like a dream. It's just getting the stuff to line up. So let's get this other one. Okay. But the things happening with normal stuff going on there with how, like, whenever you have multiple hinges that collapse, you can always collapse them the wrong way. That is a possibility, especially when all the hinges are hidden inside the arm. But you noticed that is not working right. We've got to get that to straighten out. One of these shoulder pauldrons is facing more to the ground than the other one is. And that is the problem I'm trying to fix, is getting in. One of these is facing, it's like droopy, and its droopiness is not allowed. That is not copacetic. That is not what we're looking for. Did I pop it off? Yeah, I popped it off. Cool. So we can teach you now. All right. So we're going to set the shoulder pauldron down real quick, and we'll explain what's actually going on inside this machine. So this is a joint here, but then there's this other joint that spins, but it's connected to a bar joint. So there's a bar joint that connects two joints together. So what you have is a movement there, and then you have a movement up here, but you also have the movement of the bar joint. That's why I'm saying it's like moving in three spots. Now, what you want to try and do is get this thing to fold flat, where this top joint doesn't move at all. And this is the thing that I don't like about this transformer, is I really wish this top joint wasn't there. I understand why it needs to be there in order to accomplish the right shapes. I just wish they had managed to find some other way, because that top joint is really annoying and it does inhibit the transformation a bit. So now find the little circle spot. You can easily find the spot where this plugs in. Feel the tip of the pauldron, and you'll find all this wonderful texture and stuff we talked about in the other video. But then there's this little dip down, like a little ditch inside of there. And you'll find there's two of them. There's one right towards the front of the pauldron, right towards the tip, but then there's another one right after it. And in that one is the hole that this little peg will stick into. So we just gotta line it up, and it never wants to do it right. Let's get this straightened out. Come on. Okay, there it is. Yeah, I was touching the wrong spots. Blind people problems, you know. All right, let's get this lightened up. Come on, line up. There it goes. All right, now that we lined that up, now let's try our best to fold that back without folding the top one. You know, that's the goal here, is to fold the bottom without folding the top, and that can be the chore. There we go. We got it clapped into place, and now this forearm bit can come up on the side. All right, we are done with the shoulders. I know. It took a bit, didn't it? Yeah, it did. Okay, so next step, let's go ahead and fold out this piece from this backpack. So if you feel in the backpack, there's like this little bit that has a nubbin on either side. They feel like little edges. Anyway, you feel drag your finger down the backpack towards the top of the head, and then put your hand in here, and you'll feel there's a grill in there. You want to fold that piece out. And then, while that piece is folded out and the backpack is tilted as far back as possible, rotate the head inside of the body. Then fold this backpack back down on top of the head. And then fold that grill up. And now we can just kind of rotate the shoulder pauldrons a bit, and they should lock into the grill. Now, whether it works or not, yeah, it's iffy. Sometimes they snap right into place, and sometimes they take a little finicky. But we can, but we're not going to yet, because now let's come over here to the legs. And the legs are going to be a fun one. So we got to rotate the legs 180 degrees. So the apron is right behind this backpack assembly. We want the apron to just kind of be hanging out there. And what we're going to make with this apron is akin to that weird cockroach-looking car from the 90s. They did the solar race, and they had the cockroach-looking car. Yeah, that's kind of the impression I'm getting from this. This is similar to that cockroach car. I don't remember what that solar car was called, but I remember it looked like a cockroach. Or la cucaracha, if you will. All right. So pull the apron up all the way on its hinges and come down here to the legs. Now this is a fun part of the legs. You're going to fold the wheel out, right? Then you're going to fold the foot up. And you're like, all right, cool, I'm going to leave the wheel folded out. No, you don't. Fold the wheel back. Trust me, I know. You think it's the other way, but it's not. All right, fold the wheel out on the other leg. Fold the foot down. Fold the wheel back. Good, and then nice. Okay. Next step is, now we're going to fold the leg up, okay? So if you feel on the top of the foot area, so you got the wheel, but on the opposite side, you've got this like little pyramid feeling structure that comes all the way up and has a little nub at the top. If you feel on the other leg, you got this weird same pyramid structure, comes all the way up, doesn't have a nub on the top. That's because it's got a little port on the top. Those are going to combine together. But first, we've got to get them in the appropriate position. So bend the knee, the regular robot knee, at 90 degrees. Okay, next step is we're going to rotate each of these feet so that the nubbin and the non-nubbin face each other. Okay, once the nubbin and the non-nubbin are facing each other, ooh, almost forgot one more step, and this is actually kind of the worst one. So grab the thigh in one hand and grab the robot in the other, because what we're going to do here, and don't worry about that falls off all the time, is we are going to pull these thighs down. We just got to get them rotate around. There it goes. Oh, they are not easy to fold down. There it goes. Okay, so what we're doing here is something I haven't really seen before in other Transformers. I've witnessed the step where you fold the leg into the leg, or you fold the leg up into the thigh, or the thigh goes inside. I've seen a lot of stuff like that. I've seen where it splits out and it folds in and makes like an H shape or something like that. This is new. This is where you take the thigh and it's not very intuitive to do this. You just kind of gotta rotate it around and pull it around until it untangles itself. And it is not, it's very, very stiff. So it will take you a bit to get it to do right. It never wants to do right. Come on. Come on. Do right by me. Do right by me, Soulless Prime. Do right by me. Yeah, come on. Don't lock that leg up. Don't lock the leg up. You don't want it to lock. You just want it to rotate down. Come on now. There it goes. Okay, good. It's like a drop-down hinge from G.I. Joe Classified series. I swear. It just requires you rotating that hip a few times until you can pull the drop-down hinge down. Now that we've got both of the drop-down hinges pulled out from the legs, we can go ahead and fold these legs up. Where's your other one? Oh, right, it fell off. So since this fell off, it's a great opportunity to instruct you on how to put it back. You find the wheel, and then right behind the wheel is a little like mushroom peg sticking out, and we can just plug that mushroom peg in, and that is it. It's back together. It's that easy. So it's going to fall out a lot, but it's really easy to put back. So to stop it from falling out, when we're doing this transformation, though, we're going to transform that knee all the way. We're going to transform the other knee all the way. The robot knees, we're just bending them. Now, you could grab it by the toe and force it down, or you could come closer to the actual knee itself and then use your finger to push the knee down right at the joint. That's going to stop it from falling apart. Now that you've pushed both of these guys down, remember how I said there was a nubbin on one side and a hole in the other? They're going to line up and peg together. And that is going to make a nice solid connection right there. And then your apron is going to come down and it's going to kind of merge. Not quite do it right, but it's going to, let's get the center apron piece split off from the rest. There it goes. Remember, your left and right apron pieces go down first, then the center apron falls on top of them. But it doesn't work all the time because it's such a weird connection here. So the bottom of the rear apron, or the center apron, or the top of the side of the apron that is closest to the hinge, that's the best way to say it, it is below the left and right. But the side of the apron that is furthest from the hinge is above the left and the right. It is weird. But once you get it in there, it doesn't actually snap. It just kind of lays. But it does fold. It does kind of really work well with the other pieces of leg around it. And let's just rotate those pieces around. Now, come over here to the forearms, and let's fold these arms back up. Now, when you open the forearm bit, you'll find, and it's hard to feel it, but right at the edge of that forearm, there is a cut in the plastic. It's easier to find it by feeling its negative side on the outside of the plastic. There's like a little rectangular nubbin sticking out, and that's because there's an indent for a rectangular port. Now, there's this little rectangular bit sticking out of the side of the vehicle, right about where the forearm lines up. Now we're going to push the forearm up and rotate this around. Now, if you feel the little rectangular nubbin, line that up. Ow! Ow! I stabbed myself in the finger. Ouch! So that hurt. So don't do what I did. Don't do that. Just don't. Okay? It's painful. It hurts. Do it the other way. Do it the correct way. Line that nubbin up and push it in slightly. Don't shove it in like I just tried to do and completely fail at it. All right, next step, come around here to the other forearm, and we're just going to lightly plug it in. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Now, set her on the ground. Give her a roll test. You may realize that a few pieces are just slightly out of socket, out of joint, but for the most part, there she is. There she is. We have got Soulless Prime transformed. Now, does she roll well? Kinda, but for the most part, not the best. She's not the best at rolling. Let's see if we can fix that just a little bit. I'm gonna come in here and just kind of squeeze that just a bit more. Squeeze as much of the shape as you can into this. There we go. There we go. Now, how does that feel? How does that feel? Does it roll on my... Yeah. It rolls. It rolls now. Cool. Cool. Just a bit. All right. Next up is we can... Now, some people said you can get the her hammer to fit inside of her, but I haven't figured that out. I haven't figured out where that goes, but I did find that back here on her rear legs, make sure it's connected, there is a spot to put it, and there is a little nubbin sticking out. There's a little rectangular hole right behind the rear wheel, and you'll find the rectangular piece on this hammer, and it can fit into that rectangular hole. Very, very, just on the edge of her, at the very end of this, literally right there. Let's get it lined up. Come on. There it goes. I really wish they'd used more siege ports here, but there you have it. There is Soulless Prime transformed. Now this transformation, I'm gonna give it a B+. It is a great transformation. I mean, I am surprised you can do that much with the deluxe figure. You know, the way the arms fold up, the way the legs fold up. I wish there was a bit more to it. But the reason it's getting a B+ for me is because of the clearances. The fact that You do have to specifically fold it this exact way or it will not work. You have to specifically make sure these things are tabbed in the correct way or they will never tab in. There's no room for error or mistakes, and this is not a very intuitive transformation. That's why it gets a B+. Overall, though, I do like this transformation. Is this a transformation I'm going to pick up and transform for fun? Not really, because I've got to focus too much on it. But is it a transformation that I'll do if I need a challenge in order to like get my mind straight on something and just enjoy a challenging transformer to transform? This is a challenging transformer to transform, and its challenge comes in the understanding that you've got to be careful making sure these pauldrons don't fall out. You got to be careful making sure that the feet don't fall off, and you got to make sure that the little panels don't fall off. There's a lot about this guy you got to make sure doesn't fall off during transformation, and it requires a delicate but firm touch. So it's definitely an advanced transformer. I would not give this one to a kid at all unless that kid has at least 20 other transformers that they've transformed a million times and they're bored with. Then they can handle this one. But this is not for the newbie transformer. This is definitely on the advanced list. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed Kream. And once again, I want to thank Evan Brooks for Tilt. Thank you, Evan. Man, I was not expecting an email to go as far as it has. So thanks for looking out, mate. I really appreciate you. And go check out the stuff that Evan's worked on by checking out Soulless Prime and the other Age of the Primes that are out on your store shelves now. Until next Prime, bye-bye for now.